XP, it's one of Minecraft's most common and versatile features, yet we don't think about it often. Once we create a basic XP farm, all other ways to obtain it become obsolete. But what if you needed to enchant millions of tools? What if you needed to mend your 80 million durability netherite hoe? What is the theoretical limit? This is the story of how players created the perfect XP farm. To understand why it was so hard to make, we need to touch up on XP mechanics. Your standard Enderman farm can get you about 252,000 XP points per hour. But you don't actually gain all 252,000 XP points in that hour. Each Enderman drops 5 XP points on death, 2 orbs worth 1 XP and 1 orb worth 3 XP, which is where we run into the main stopping point of any XP farm. The player can only absorb an XP orb once per 2 game ticks, or 10 per second. This cooldown might seem too fast to have any real effect, but it means that out of the 252,000 XP points the farm produces, you can only really get 60,000 of them in that hour. And that also means that you would much rather spend your XP pickup time getting the XP point worth 3, as it means you will get more XP over time. With this in mind, we learn that the only way to make XP farms better is not by increasing the amount of orbs it gives, but the quality of them. Every XP orb amounts are divided into groups. The larger the orb, the more XP it gives, but there is one that obviously stands out from the others, an XP orb so elusive, it was named the God Particle. The God Particle is worth 2,477 XP points. Because it's so valuable, you can't even find it anywhere in your world. The best you can get is this 1 XP orb dropped by the Ender Dragon only the first time you kill it, which is in the group before the God Particle. But there is still a way to get it. Smelting items is one of the easiest ways to get XP in the game, but it never seems to give that much XP. But it's only because the amount of XP gained scales with the amount of items you smelt and only releases when taking the items out of the furnace, so by taking the items out with a hopper the amount of XP in the furnace builds up, until we reach the amount of 12,385, so when we break the furnace, it spawns. There it is, the God Particle, we did it. But wait, we only get it once, and you have to smelt a huge amount of items taking almost 35 hours to smelt, so is it even worth getting it? What if we could get the XP from the furnace but still keep it in there to get it again? This is where we get technical with update suppression is a way to withhold a game from making certain updates by overloading it with a ton of them at once. The game can only process a limited amount of updates at once, and if this amount is surpassed, then it will just skip the updates it should have made. This allows for some pretty interesting things like floating blocks that shouldn't be floating and sliced nether portals. But in this case we are using a specific mechanic of update suppression called tile entity swapping. Specific blocks in the game require storing extra data than most blocks, like a chest storing what items it has inside, or a bee nest storing how many bees and how much honey it has. These are called tile entities. Normally when one of these blocks are broken, its data is also removed, but if we update suppress that block, the game skips deleting the block's data, making it think it's still there when it's really not. This allows us to place a block where the game still thinks the previous block was and the data gets transferred to it. By using these two mechanics, we can create a furnace with 12,385 XP stored inside and suppress it, freezing the data in the block. Then when we break it, the furnace will drop 5 God Particles and the 12,385 points are still stored in that block. So by placing the furnace again, the furnace takes the data from the block, and so it also has 12,385 XP points. Repeating by breaking the furnace with an efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe and haste 2, we can get 10 God Particles every second, granting us 89 million XP per hour, which is the most amount of XP a player can pick up, making this the absolute perfect XP farm possible. This farm was made by Cubic Meter, so I would like to thank him and the Minecraft wiki for the information I got for this video. If you want to see more content like this, there is a handy feature just for that. Seriously, it only takes a second for you, but helps me out a ton. With all that being said, I'll see you in the next video.